Today, we're uncovering 12 of Los Angeles' most haunting legends, eerie stories from the City of Angels that refuse to fade away. Number 1. The Curse of Griffith Park. Griffith Park is one of Los Angeles' most famous landmarks, stretching over 4,000 acres of rugged hills and trails. But behind the picnic tables and hiking paths is a legend that has haunted the park for over a century. It begins in the 1800s with a land dispute involving Doña Petronila, a woman promised a portion of the land. When she was cheated out of her inheritance, she reportedly stood beneath a mighty oak and declared that anyone who profited from the land would face ruin. Soon after, tragedy seemed to stalk those tied to the park. One owner's cattle were wiped out by a mysterious plague. Another saw his business collapse and his fortune vanish. Even Colonel Griffith J. Griffith, who donated the park to the city, became infamous after a scandal and prison sentence. Locals whispered that Doña Petronila's curse was unfolding, just as she promised. Strange stories continued well into the 20th century. Hikers and park rangers have claimed to see a ghostly woman on horseback racing through the park late at night. Others have reported cold winds and an eerie feeling of being watched near the site where the curse was said to be placed. While skeptics chalk it up to shadows and imagination, the legend of the curse remains one of Los Angeles' most persistent ghost tales. Whether you believe in curses or not, Griffith Park's dark legend adds a mysterious layer to its history. It reminds visitors that even in a city of sunshine and movie stars, the past has a way of leaving its mark, and some stories are too chilling to be forgotten. Number 2. The Lizard People Underground. In 1934, Los Angeles residents were captivated by an incredible headline. A mining engineer claimed that a race of lizard people once lived in tunnels far beneath the city. According to his story, these beings built a network of underground chambers packed with treasure and ancient records thousands of years ago. He even convinced officials to let him search beneath downtown using what he called a radio X-ray device to locate the lost tunnels. The engineer claimed the lizard people had survived a great catastrophe by building their city underground. He produced maps showing elaborate passageways stretching from downtown Los Angeles to the ocean. Newspapers eagerly printed the story, and locals dreamed about hidden gold and a prehistoric civilization right under their feet. Of course, no tunnels or treasure were ever found, and historians today view the tale as a hoax or a publicity stunt. But the legend stuck. Over the decades, the story of the lizard people has taken on a life of its own, inspiring books, television shows, and plenty of late-night conversations about what might really lie below Los Angeles. Even if it began as tall tale, it captures the city's unique spirit, where myths and history often blend together. The legend of the lizard people reminds us that Los Angeles is a place built on dreams, where even the wildest stories can find a home and live on for generations. Number 3. Peg Entwistle's ghost at the Hollywood sign. High above Los Angeles, the Hollywood sign draws dreamers from all over the world. It's also tied to one of Hollywood's most famous ghost stories. In 1932, a young actress named Peg Entwistle climbed Mount Lee and leapt from the H of what was then the Hollywoodland sign. Her tragic death shocked the city, and almost immediately, tales of a restless spirit began to spread. Peg's story came to symbolize the thin line between ambition and heartbreak in the City of Angels. For decades, hikers and park rangers have claimed to see a woman in 1930s-style clothing wandering near the sign. Witnesses describe her as looking lost before vanishing without a sound. Some even report the sudden scent of gardenia perfume, Peg's favorite fragrance when no one else is nearby. Others say they've seen a faint figure moving through evening fog or heard the crunch of unseen footsteps along the trail at dusk. Today, security fences keep visitors far from the sign, but reports of strange encounters have never stopped. Workers maintaining the area have also described uneasy feelings, as if someone unseen was watching from the shadows. The legend resonates because it reflects the real struggles behind Hollywood's bright lights. Peg came to Los Angeles seeking stardom, but instead became a haunting symbol of its pressures and dashed hopes. Whether or not her spirit truly roams the hillside, Peg Entwistle's story remains part of Hollywood lore. On quiet nights, when the wind carries the faint smell of flowers, some wonder if Peg is still there, forever walking among the stars she once longed to join. Number 4. The dark history of the Cecil Hotel. In the heart of downtown Los Angeles stands a building with a reputation as infamous as its towering facade. The Cecil Hotel opened in 1924 with grand ambitions. It was meant to be a glamorous destination for travelers in a growing city, with a marble lobby and ornate details. But the Great Depression hit soon after, and the hotel's fortunes took a darker turn that has never quite lifted. By the mid-20th century, the Cecil had gained a grim nickname as a death hotel. Numerous tragic deaths occurred within its walls. Infamous guests also made headlines. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, stayed there in the 1980s, and Austrian killer Jack Unterweger checked in years later. These stories built the hotel's eerie reputation, where sorrow and crime seemed to leave a permanent mark. More recently, the 2013 death of traveler Eliza Lam revived the Cecil's notoriety worldwide. Her body was discovered in a rooftop water tank after guests reported foul-tasting water and low pressure. Security video of Elisa acting strangely in an elevator fueled theories and made the Cecil a focus of paranormal talk. Visitors and staff have long whispered of ghostly figures in empty hallways and a heavy feeling of dread. Whether or not its tragedies are linked to the supernatural, the Cecil Hotel remains a symbol of Los Angeles' shadowy side. In a city known for dreams, its history reminds us of the forgotten and the lost. The building is being renovated, but the stories of what happened there still echo through its halls. Number 5. Mobster ghosts at the Comedy Store. On the Sunset Strip, the Comedy Store is famous for launching the careers of legendary comedians. But before the laughter, this building had a much bloodier past. In the 1940s, it was Cairo's, a glitzy nightclub where mobsters were rumored to run the show. Behind the curtain of music and cocktails, deals were made, and enemies sometimes disappeared. The glimmering stage lights often hid a darker underworld that left its mark on the walls. When the building became the Comedy Store in the 1970s, strange happenings began almost immediately. Staff reported cold drafts in sealed rooms and disembodied voices long after closing time. In the basement, Where mob enforcers allegedly carried out beatings, workers have heard cries and footsteps when no one was there. Some comics even claim to see a shadowy man in a fedora leaning against the back wall, watching the stage silently. These eerie tales became part of the club's own folklore. For years, management denied anything paranormal, but the stories wouldn't stop. Performers have mentioned sudden chills while telling jokes, as if unseen figures were still judging from the dark. Eventually, the Comedy Store embraced its haunted reputation and even allowed ghost tours. The mix of dark history and laughter makes the place uniquely L.A., a spot where past and present collide. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, the stories of mobster spirits at the Comedy Store add another layer to its legend. Visitors say the energy in the basement is unlike anywhere else, as if echoes of old secrets remain. Number 6. Linda Vista Hospital's Lost Souls. In Boyle Heights stands a hulking brick building with boarded windows and a chilling reputation. Linda Vista Hospital opened in 1905 to serve railroad workers and later became a public hospital. Over the decades, it treated countless patients, but as the neighborhood declined and funding dried up, care suffered. By the 1980s and 90s, Linda Vista had a reputation for overcrowding and tragedy before it closed in 1991. After abandonment, its decaying halls became a magnet for urban explorers and filmmakers. Movies and TV shows shot horror scenes there because the real-life setting was so unnerving. Paranormal investigators also flocked to Linda Vista. They reported shadow figures moving in the old ER, voices calling out in empty wards, and the feeling of being watched. Some claimed the spirits of patients and nurses never left. Security guards shared eerie accounts of footsteps echoing through locked hallways and doors slamming on their own. A few said they saw a little girl wandering the third floor who vanished when approached. Whether these are ghostly encounters or tricks of imagination, the hospital's dark history makes the stories compelling. Today, the building has been converted into housing, but its haunted reputation lingers. Linda Vista's tale reflects a piece of Los Angeles history, how a place of healing can gather sorrow over time, and how those echoes of the past keep its legend alive. Number 7. Pico House and the Chinatown Massacre. In the late 1800s, Los Angeles was a very different city, rougher, smaller, and often dangerous. At its heart stood the Pico House, a grand hotel built in 1870 by Pico, the last Mexican governor of California. It was once the most elegant place in town, with fine dining and ornate balconies. But just a year after its opening, a horrific event would leave a lasting scar on its history and give rise to one of LA's darkest ghost stories. In 1871, a deadly riot broke out in Los Angeles' Old Chinatown, just steps from the Pico House. A conflict between rival Chinese groups spiraled into chaos when an angry mob of hundreds stormed the area. 19 Chinese immigrants were killed, making it one of the worst race-related conflicts in U.S. history. Witnesses later claimed some victims were dragged near the Pico House itself before being lynched. Over the years, guards and visitors have whispered about strange happenings around the old building. Footsteps echo on empty balconies late at night, and shadowy figures appear and vanish without sound. Some believe the victims of 1871 are still there, trapped near the site of their final moments. Others think the lingering spirits may include guests from the hotel's glory days, unwilling to leave even after death. Today, the Pico House is a historic landmark, but its ghostly reputation endures. Walking past its silent halls at night, it's easy to imagine the weight of its past. Whether it's the echoes of tragedy or just the stories we tell, the Pico House reminds Los Angeles that some history refuses to stay buried. Number 8. Marilyn Monroe at the Roosevelt Hotel. The Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel has hosted movie stars since it opened in 1927, but one of its most famous guests may never have checked out. Marilyn Monroe, the iconic actress, lived there early in her career when she was still modeling. Decades after her death, visitors claim her spirit still lingers, making the Roosevelt one of the most famous haunted hotels in Los Angeles. Guests staying in Marilyn's old room have reported strange events for years. A full-length mirror that once hung there is said to reflect her figure when no one else is present. Some visitors say they've felt a sudden chill or seen a flash of blonde hair out of the corner of their eye. Her presence seems to be friendly, but tinged with sadness, like a memory that refuses to fade. She isn't the only ghost rumored to roam the Roosevelt. Actor Montgomery Clift, who stayed in room 928 while filming From Here to Eternity, is said to pace the hallways, practicing his trumpet. Staff members have heard music and footsteps when the floor was empty. These stories give the hotel an almost timeless feeling, as if the golden age of Hollywood never fully ended. Today, the Roosevelt is a bustling, glamorous hotel once again, but its ghostly tales make it even more intriguing. Whether you believe in spirits or not, the idea that Marilyn might still watch over the place where she began her rise to fame keeps her legend alive in the heart of Hollywood. Number 9. La Llorona of Elysian Park. The legend of La Llorona, the Weeping Woman, is known across Latin America, but Los Angeles has its own chilling version. Elysian Park, with its quiet trails and shady trees, is a beloved escape for residents. Yet after dark, some say the park is haunted by a woman in white, endlessly searching for her lost children and crying into the night air. According to the tale, La Llorona drowned her children in a fit of despair and was cursed to wander forever. In Elysian Park, late-night visitors have reported hearing soft sobbing near the LA River or beneath its old bridges. Others claim they've seen a ghostly figure in a flowing white gown drifting between the trees, sometimes accompanied by the eerie sound of water splashing where there is none. Her appearance is often sudden, fading just as quickly into the shadows. Some locals believe the spirit is drawn to the park because of its springs and its long connection to nearby neighborhoods. For generations, families have told children to be careful after dark, warning that La Llorona might mistake them for her own and take them away. Others tell of seeing her headless dog companion described in some versions of the legend, padding silently beside her as she weeps. Whether it's a cautionary tale or a true haunting, the fear feels very real when you walk the park's winding paths alone at night. La Llorona's story is more than just a ghost tale. It's a cultural legend carried to Los Angeles by immigrants who kept their folklore alive. In Elysian Park, her mournful cries blend history and myth, reminding us that even in a modern city of freeways and bright lights, old stories can still echo under the moonlight. Number 10. The 1942 Battle of Los Angeles. In the early morning hours of February 25, 1942, Los Angeles was gripped by fear. Just weeks after the attack on Pearl Harbor, residents were on edge about the possibility of enemy air raids. That night, air raid sirens wailed and searchlights swept the skies as mysterious objects were spotted above the city. Believing they were under attack, U.S. forces fired more than 1,400 anti-aircraft shells into the darkness, lighting up the night sky and waking thousands. For hours, bright beams traced the heavens, and explosions echoed across neighborhoods from Santa Monica to Long Beach. People huddled in their homes or gathered outside to watch what they thought was the first battle over U.S. soil. Yet, when the smoke cleared at sunrise, there were no crashed planes, no invaders, just damage from falling shells and confused residents wondering what they had seen. The military later claimed it was a false alarm, blaming weather balloons and jittery nerves, but many weren't convinced. Eyewitnesses swore they saw a large craft hovering over the city, bathed in searchlight beams. Over the years, conspiracy theories took root. Was it a secret test? A cover-up? Some even claimed it was an early UFO encounter, decades before Roswell. Whatever truly happened that night, the Battle of Los Angeles remains one of the city's strangest legends. It's a story of fear and mystery in a time of war, and even now, people look up at the stars and wonder if something extraordinary once passed silently over LA's sleeping neighborhoods. Number 11. Shadow People of Griffith Observatory. Griffith Observatory is one of Los Angeles' most beloved landmarks, perched high above the city with sweeping views of the stars. But when the crowds leave and the lights go dim, some say another kind of presence emerges. For decades, visitors and staff have whispered about strange shadow people that appear near the observatory at night, moving where no one should be. Witnesses describe them as tall, dark, human-shaped figures without faces, gliding silently along the pathways or peering from behind trees. Unlike ordinary shadows, they seem to move against the light and vanish when approached. Some hikers have felt an unsettling chill or the distinct sensation of being watched, even when the grounds were empty. No one knows what these shadow figures are meant to be. Some think they are tied to the park's long history and the old land disputes that inspired tales like the Griffith Park curse. Others suggest it's the mind playing tricks in the dark or the eerie isolation of the hillside trails. Whatever the cause, the stories are so consistent, they've become part of local folklore. Griffith Observatory is a place for studying the stars, but its legends remind us that mystery can exist much closer to the ground. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, the idea of shadowy watchers under the starlit sky adds another layer to the observatory's enduring magic and mystery. Number 12. The Black Dahlia at the Biltmore. Few crimes have captured Los Angeles' imagination like the unsolved murder of Elizabeth Short, better known as the Black Dahlia. In January 1947, the 22-year-old aspiring actress was last seen alive at the elegant Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Days later, her body was found in a vacant lot, and her death shocked the entire nation. The case remains unsolved, fueling endless theories and ghost stories. Over the years, guests and staff at the Biltmore have reported eerie experiences linked to Elizabeth. Some have claimed to see a young woman in 1940s clothing wandering the 10th or 11th floor, matching her description. Others have felt cold spots or seen her reflection in the hotel's ornate mirrors when no one was there. Her presence seems calm, almost wistful, as if she's still waiting for someone she planned to meet that night. The grandeur of the Biltmore makes these sightings even more striking. It hosted Hollywood stars, presidents, and galas. But the Dahlia legend adds a darker edge to its history. Even without the paranormal, the unsolved mystery has made the hotel a place of fascination for true crime enthusiasts and ghost hunters alike. Whether or not Elizabeth Short's spirit truly lingers, her story has become woven into the fabric of Los Angeles lore. The Black Dahlia's haunting is less about fear and more about remembrance, a tragic tale of a young woman whose dream was cut short, leaving behind one of the city's most enduring and heartbreaking legends. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.